Hey there everyone, welcome back. Today I have another new video here for you and with another fun new method. Today's video is going to be about multi-spawners. Now, before when I was going over the normal spawners, I was saying, hey, don't go ahead and do a multi-spawner, it just won't work right, things aren't going to look good, and you're not going to get your target. That's because they handle RNG in just a different way from normal spawns, and that's because of how they go. They have more than one Pokemon. I'm going to go into the more deep dive of that later, because if you saw my video about how we did the Pokemon generation, but because it has to spawn multiple Pokemon each time it advances, each time you camp, it ends up going in a different way with the RNG, where as opposed to a normal spawner, which always has one Pokemon and one advance and one reseed. So that's why it wouldn't have worked before. But there are some spawners that are consistently the same number of Pokemon, and as a result, we can go ahead and actually go through those. And the wonderful thing there is that you can actually kind of path through them. You can like for instance here we're going to be using a combi as an example, but you can catch one combi and go back, camp, and then come back, do two, and so on and so forth. So you can actually kind of path through, and you could do that theoretically infinitely to reach whatever target you want. So, first things first, let's go ahead and bring up the tool here. All right, so go to the tool. You'll notice on the web now there is a new option called multis, and that's what we did. We renamed things a little bit. Spawns is just your normal spawns. Alphas, normal anything one by one. Multis covers multi spawners. MMOs, those are your MMO seeds. Just so you know now. So let's go to the multis. You'll also notice there are tabs. Yes, I figured out how to do tabs. Go me. Anyways, so you click on spawner maps here, and you can expand these out, and you can see what spawners I currently am supporting, because I have to add these in manually. I'm still working on it, so keep that in mind. There will be more. I'll add them in. It'll be fun. Anyways, so we're going to go specifically, we're in the Crimson Mirelands, we're going to go for combi. And you can see that there are two spawners that work for combis here in the Crimson Mirelands. You can either go for this one or this one. Both these are 2-2 spawners. Pretty much all the spawners that are listed are 2-2, which means that they minimum spawn 2 Pokemon and maximum spawn 2 Pokemon, which in practice actually just means there will only spawn 2 Pokemon. There was one difference here, and that's this Petalil right here. This one is actually a 3-3 spawner, so it will always have 3 Pokemon with it. But all the other ones are listed are 2-2s, and the combis are no exception. So you could use either one of these. You could even get the seed for both of these if you want, and path through both. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get the seed for this one. So let's go ahead and lower this out. So it is looking at the map. It is about here. Oh wait, no, it's right here actually, right near Maven's Lost Satchel. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a pin in it. Cool. All right. So to get your seed, it is very similar to getting the seed in any other situation. You're just going to go over there, and we're going to catch both Pokemon. Both of them. You want to have both, and then we're just going to run it through whatever seed program you use. You use my seed program, you use the Eater MMO, you could use my seed bot, either way. So just go ahead and catch both, but it's important that we catch both, so we're going to kind of be a little sneaky here. Oh, and also, make sure you have saved before you do this. I already saved at the beginning of this video, but make sure you have saved at the beginning because you're going to want to reset after you get your seed. Alright, so we go ahead. Theoretically, nope. This one. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so now I've caught them. I'm going to go ahead and get this seed. So keep in mind, you're going to want to reset to before you did this, so I hope you saved before. So go ahead and get your seed by dumping out the Pokemon and going ahead and following that process. And then I'll come back in just a minute once I have all that information, and we'll go ahead and we'll pass through this. So I will catch you in just a minute. All right, so we got our seed. go ahead and bring up our tool again. So yeah, so one thing to note is that these remain static, so you don't have to worry. You could always come back here for reference. I'm going to add tabs to everything now because tabs are fun. Anyways, so let's go ahead, put in our seed. So max number of advances. I've given you a few options. Theoretically, you could go on forever, but it takes a lot of CPU once you get past 20, and I don't want that to happen on this program. So I've limited you to 20 right now. But the paths that it produce are exponential. So like going for 12 and then you go and then if you go for 12 and then you look at the number of paths for 20, it is significantly higher. It's more than double. So that's what, keep that in mind. So I'm just going to go for maximum number of 20 advances. But that's an advance is you catching or despawning one or more Pokemon and then camping to pass time. So that's what an advance is. Shiny rolls, exactly the same as every other page on this program. Number of spawns. Now you only have two options here. You have 2 or 3. So this is combi. This is a 2/2 spawner. So we select 2. If you go to the Petalil, go to 3. Now select spawner. I've pre-populated this with a few options here. So like you can see, they're all named like where they are: Obsidian, Fieldlands, Bunny, or Psyduck, whatever. So here we go, Crimson Mirelands combi, and this will work for either one of these. These share the exact same encounter table. They are essentially the same. They're not the same spawn point. So you can't take the seed from this one and use it over here, for example. You have to get the seed for both of them. But they function exactly the same. So we go ahead and select that. I've already filtered for shiny alphas, and now we just go ahead and search. 20 takes a little bit of time to do. Also, keep in mind that with 3, 20 will take a long, long time to run. All right, but we do have some results here. So we go ahead and get this out here. But yeah, we can see that these are shiny alphas. This is the number of advances that path will take, and then you get the stats and everything. Okay, so male combis, which cool, but not. Oh, hey, here we go. All right, so we have 16 advances, which actually isn't as bad. It's less than the others for a female shiny alpha combi. So that's what we're going to go with. Now, one thing you'll also notice is that there are checkboxes right next to it. This is just for you to keep track of your path status, because these are fairly long. So what each number here is, this is how many Pokemon you're going to despawn from the camp before advancing time. So you can see here, this is D2. So we're going to go to the spawn point, despawn both the Pokemon, and then we're going to advance time. Same here, same here, same here. Then this, we only want to despawn one of them Pokemon, and then advance time, and so on and so forth. You need to follow the path exactly to get what you want, but if you do that, you'll get there. It's very similar to doing an MMO path, except that this one you have to sleep in order to make them respawn. All right, let's see. I'm just going to take a quick snapshot of this. All right, I'm going to take a quick snapshot of this, and I'm going to add it to my screen so that you can see it. All right. I'll just stick that at the bottom here. All right, let's hop into this. Let's go ahead and do the path. Alright, so, alright, first things first. Let's go ahead and put that pin back in because we're going to reset to before I did this. Just so I can keep in mind where I'm going. Alright, so our first path here is D2. So let's go ahead and we just have to despawn both of them. We can either do that by killing them, capture them, or since these are combies and they do like to flee, you can make them run away too. Either one is fine. I'm just going to go for the catch just because it's usually a little bit faster. Alright, that's our first step done. So go back to camp. Now I'm if you go look at my website here, you can see that I just went ahead and I checked. I always check when I get back to camp. You can do it however you want, but that's just for your reference. It doesn't matter in the game. All right, so I'm going to advance time. We're at morning right now. I'm going to go to midday. Generally, with these spawners, I'm going to stick to morning or midday. And the reason for that is because there is actually a different spawn table at night, and I don't want to have night spawns show up. So you can do that if you want, but just keep in mind it might cause an issue. Like if you see 2 Zubats and then you go to day, that will count as a D2. So just be prepared for that. Alright, so this one is another D2. There they are. I'm just going to let this one run away. Yep. And that counts as a despawn too. That's perfectly fine. You can have them run away. You can KO in battle. I caught one. One ran away. That's okay. So that's our D2. Alright, and you can see that this is going to take us a little while to do. But it's not that bad. One other thing to note is that I'm doing this without CFW tools. But you can do this with CFW. You can do it without. Either one is fine. They are both valid options. The CFW one reads from memory to get the seeds, whereas the web version you get the seed the normal way. Alright, so we got another D2. And D2s are probably the easiest one, just because you don't have to worry about what you're doing here. You just come in here, say, hey you, and you. Catch them both. And then go back to camp. Probably the fastest too. Alright. Alright, so our fourth, so that was our third advance. Now we're doing advance number 4, which is again, hey, guess what? Another D2. But after that, we get a little bit more variation in here. We got a D1 coming up. Now, one thing to note is that you can save at any point in the path. That's fine. You could do that. The thing is that if you are off the path, if you have made a mistake, and like for instance, you think you did a D1, but you only did a but you did a D2 instead, and you save, well, then you're hosed. But I'm gonna go ahead and since I've just did 4 D2s in a row, and I'm pretty sure I didn't do anything else, I'm gonna give it a save. So that way, if I make a mistake going forward, I can always just reset to this point. Alright, so this next one is a D1. So this time we only want to catch one of these combis, or we only want to despawn one of the combis. And if we despawn 2 of them, well, then we're off path and things will go bad. So let's go. Alright, so let's go ahead and be a little bit more stealthy about this. Oh yeah, super stealthy. Because we don't want that other one to run away. See how it's... Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather, so if I cough, I apologize. But you see how that one just darted away a little bit? We don't want to be fast traveling while it's running because that'll despawn it. So that's why I just waited until it stopped moving and then go back to camp. And that should be our D1. Now, go ahead and rest. And we're going to go back to the spawn. Now, one thing to note is that since they respawned, but we only despawned one of them, one of the Pokemon will be the exact same one that we just saw, and then the other one will be new. That's not very important to the pathing, but it's interesting to note. There they go, we got them both. We're on a D2, so let's go ahead and just catch them both. Alright, great. Alright, that's a D2. And we're going to camp. So at this point, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've done 6 advances of the 16. So we're not quite halfway through, but we're almost there. Alright, another D2. Okay, that one's got caught. That one got caught too. Great. Alright. So at this point, I am going... Oh, we got D1. Alright, let's do this one more D1 so I can show it. And then after that, I'm going to speed up the video so that you all don't have to watch me do a whole bunch more advances in real time. Even though this isn't taking a huge amount of time, at this point, it's taken me about 10 minutes to get halfway through the path. Alright, so D1. Pop a stealth spray. Another thing that you could always do if you only have to get one of them. Actually, I don't think we need to do it this time, but you could always use cakes to lure them. It also has the advantage of making them easier to catch. You can see that. Alright, so we just want one. I'm gonna wait till that one stops moving just to make sure. Alright. Alright, that's a D1. Alright, so at this point, I'm going to speed things up so you do not have to watch me do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're literally halfway. You don't have to watch me do the remaining 8 advances in real time. We'll speed things up, and I'll catch you in just a minute. Okay, So this is the last advance right here. So if you're looking at the picture down on the bottom, we are on that last D2 at this point. So after we despawn these two, oh, oh, after we despawn these two, and then advance time one more time, we should be at our target. So let's go ahead and do that. This was a relatively forgiving path in that there wasn't a whole lot of D1s in it. Yeah. Caught that one. Caught that one. Cool. All right, let's go ahead. We advance time to midday, and we should see our target there. If I followed the path right. And again, sometimes you get into a situation where you think you only despawned one, but you end up despawning two because one of them ran away when you didn't expect it, or the game registered it as for some reason. And still working that out, but generally just go slow when it's a D1. Or when you have to despawn less than the maximum. Like if you're doing a Petalil, you have to do a D2, because there's 3 Pokemon there. But let's see. Ah, I see a shiny, and that's an alpha. So pretty sure we got it. And it's female. Look at that. Alright. So let's go ahead and let's check its stats, because while I did everything here without any CFW tools, I am on a CFW switch, so we can go ahead and do that. Alright, so let me bring up our live map here. Alright. You can just listen to the battle music. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and check out the battle information. So we see a shiny combi. It is gentle, ability 2, and here's its IVs. And now we go back here, and it is a gentle female combi, 31, 31, 6, 2, 31, 7, 31, 31, 6, 2, 31, 37, and also the EC and PID, which if you watch my last video, the EC and PID match. Yes, they do. They do match. The interesting thing is that the PID will only match until you catch it. Once we catch it, the PID will change because the game rolls a fake trainer ID and secret ID, so that it will make it shiny. But then when you catch it, it'll force it to be one for shiny for you. It's complicated and totally unnecessary to know why, but everything matches, so we know that we reached our path target, which again is pretty obvious given that we found a female shiny alpha combi, which what are the odds of that just normally happening after doing this random path? And of course we caught it. So that's how you do it. That's how you can path through a multi-spawner. And again, this whole path took me 22 minutes to do from start to finish. And that's including me talking and doing some setup and everything. But you can use this for again, any of these spawners that I have in this map are all currently supported fully. This Swinub one in the Alabaster Icelands, these Petlil ones. Keep in mind the Petlil is, again, a 3. You could do any of these 4 in Obsidian Field Lands. I'm adding more manually as I find them. Like I know of a Magikarp one that I want to add, and so on and so forth. But you can path through any of these right now. Just go ahead and select their spawner in the list and go for it. You know, you could, this is of course using the same seed, but you can go ahead and put it in there for, I don't know, the shiny Abra and Kadabra, whatever. But go ahead and do that. If you have any questions, please join my Discord. I'm more than happy to help work this out and get everyone the shinies that they want. And that's all I've got for today. So I will catch you all next time, and until then, good luck with all of your hunts.